All right, y'all, The Shy Season 6 finale. Let's get into this recap. Before we get into this recap, y'all, let me just say that this season 6 finale was one for the books. So get ready because we are about to go on a ride. Okay, let's go. So, boom. We open up this episode at the cigar lounge. It is police everywhere. Bianca is shaking and crying. Why? There is a body on the floor. Who is it? It is Duda. One shot to the dome. He is up out of here. For real this time. Now we head over to Nina's house, and Nina is scared to tell her family that she is leaving to go on a road with Portia after Thanksgiving. Now Kevin is still in LA. He wanted to stay home for Friendsgiving, and Nina is upset about this. Now we understand that Kevin is grown and he can make his own decisions, but they know they could have brought him back for the season finale. We are at Keisha and Emmett's house, and like I already knew, she's pregnant. So I got another step baby on the way. Now Emmett is making jokes. He like, oh, my pullout game weak. And Keisha is not in the mood for jokes. She like, this is not funny. We almost got off. The only reason why they wasn't in the car was because baby Ronnie had to pee. And she like, what we gonna do? Do you think we should have it? And Emmett is like, of course. And she's like, well, of course you do. And he like, you don't want to have my baby? And she like, of course I do. I love you. I just don't know if this is the right time. We got a lot going on with the goings ons. And he like, you think I can't handle this? And she was like, I don't know if we can handle this. And he's like, well, that's never a right time to have a kid. They miracles. They supposed to be surprises. And Keisha is like, you know what? You right. We can do this. We just got to stick together. This exciting news, but we going to have to keep it to ourselves for a minute. And Emmett is already planning the gender reveal. And Keisha talking about she don't want a gender reveal because what if the baby don't agree with the sex that they are? Girl, you thinking too far ahead. We gonna have a gender reveal for my stepchild. Over at the church, Papa is leading the sermon, and of course he is big and asking for money. Now Jake and Victor are both there, and they just passed the collection plate because they not putting any money in there. But look at Papa, just a little Zeke Jr. We back at Nina's house, and Bakari spent the night with Lene last night. So she asked him, like, what you doing for Thanksgiving? And y'all, this boy said he going to Smokey's. Boy, it is Thanksgiving. Smokey is closed today. So he like, oh, man. So Lene like, well, you could just eat with us. This going to be my real first Thanksgiving. I never really had one growing up. And he like, wow, me neither. And she like, well, I would love to spend Thanksgiving with you. And he was like, well, if Nina say it's cool, then I'm down. Now, Thanksgiving is all about family. So she asked him if he talked to Backdoor Brittany yet. And he said, no, he don't even want to look at her right now. He ain't wrong. Darnell is having a teachable moment with his sons, Emmett, Damien, and they got a +1, Rob. And he is teaching them how to fry the Thanksgiving turkey. Now, I'm not too sure if Darnell is the right person to teach them because Damien had a fire extinguisher the whole time. And he said Darnell almost burned down the house one Thanksgiving. But anyway, it was still a cute moment. And Rob is like, man, I ain't never had no Thanksgiving like this. And Emmett like, me neither. So Damien like, okay, Darnell, when you gonna teach us? And Darnell said, well, some things you can't teach. You just gotta watch and learn. And Rob is like, wow, my father used to say that all the time. And Darnell lets him know, if you ever need me, I'm here. And Emmett is like, I used to think having a dad around was overrated. And Rob said, me too. So Rob is clearly missing his father. And RIP to our brother Alonzo, because they know they ain't have to do my boy like that. Now we back at this church, and Pastor Zeke is practicing for a sermon, whatever he doing, and in walks this guy, Charles. Now, Charles is played by Rotimi. Hey, Rotimi, what's good in the hood? And Charles used to be Pastor Zeke's old assistant, so he was Papa. Now, he left to start his own church. That didn't work, so now he back trying to get a job. And the pastor is like, no, I'm training somebody new. We good. And Charles ain't trying to take no for an answer. He like, okay, how's Sarah? Now, Pastor like, oh, you threatening me. And he like, nah, it was just a question. So Pastor Zeke like, anything I share with you should be between us. And Charles saying, that depends if I have a place in this church. And Zeke said, well, what if you don't? And Charles said, I know where your bodies are buried. And I'm willing to keep them there as long as you can get me back into the church. So Pastor Zeke like, so I don't have a choice. And Charles like, you do. And Pastor Zeke said, welcome back. So what bodies? And where are they buried, Charles? Do tell. And baby, who gonna tell Papa that his job, his precious job, is in jeopardy? We finally head over to Tiff and Rob's house. We know that they are hosting Thanksgiving this year, and our good sis Tiff is stressed. Okay, she's overwhelmed. She's not done cooking, and she over it at this point. And Rob is like, relax. We black. They know the food not gonna be done on time. Now, Rob didn't tell Tiff that he invited her mom. And Tiff's mom comes in and she just criticized. She talking about Tiffany sewing and the food should have been done. And then she runs into Miss Alicia. And Tiffany introduced them. And Alicia like, oh, do you want some Merlot? And Tiffany mama said, no, baby. Do you have a beer? Ciao, period. Keisha and Emmett are at her mom Nina's house for Thanksgiving, and they telling her about the car blowing up. Now, they tried to make it seem like something was wrong with the car, and that's why it blew up. And Mama Nina is like, are y'all sure that nobody tried to hurt y'all? And they was like, nah, we good. Child, if only she knew. Now, Lene's brother Jamal is also at Mama Nina's house, and he is questioning her and Bakari about where Lene slept last night. And she like, where did you sleep last night? And he like, I'm grown. And she like, I'm grown too. And he told her, not when you still need a legal guardian. And Lene said, well, that's only for a couple more months. Period. Now Nina is having a conversation with Portia, and she is like, Keisha is different. I know they keeping something from me. And Portia is like, girl, you being here is not gonna stop bad things from happening. Like, you done what you were supposed to do. And Nina said a mother's job is never done. And Portia like, your kid's good. You only one call away. And Nina like, that's the problem. They never call. And Portia like, they have full lives. It's time for you to get a life of your own. Nina, if you don't want to go, just say that, because you is using every excuse in the book not to go with this lady. Back over at Rob and Tiff's house, Rob is just now finding out that Shy been clapping his mama cheeks. So he like, when did y'all start talking? And Alicia like, we do more than talk. So Shy is like, man, look, we wasn't expected to be doing all this. It kind of just snuck up on us. And Rob like, I'm sure. So Alicia like, he takes really good care of me. And Shy like, baby. And Rob like, can you not call my mama that while you in my house? And Alicia gonna say, technically, it's my house. And Shy like, you ain't gotta worry about me doing your mama wrong. She's an amazing woman. And Rob like, cool, just remember that she get bored real easy. So Alicia like, that is not true. And Shy said, well, I'm gonna try my best not to be boring then. And baby, he said that's his woman and he gonna stick beside her. Now we see Duda before he got duped, and he got his Glocks. And I'm like, okay, what is you doing with these Glocks? You cleaning them? What you doing? Child, he is suicidal. And he put the dupe up to his head, but he couldn't do it. And baby, only if he knew what was waiting on him, he probably would have took himself out before anybody else could. We back at Nina's house. Yes, we are going from house to house this Thanksgiving. And Maisha comes, and she is telling Bakari and Lene that she think Kevin is cheating on her. He barely called her. He not answering her text messages in a timely fashion. And he been real cryptic on social media. And Bakari has peeped this too. And Lene like, so y'all breaking up? And Maisha said, I think he want to, but I don't think he want to hurt me. And Lene say, well, maybe you got to be the one to end it. And I hate that for Maisha. And she hated for herself too. Not Kevin that went to LA and became a cheater. Well, he said he been cheated on enough, so now he finna be the cheater. Ooh, fix it, Jesus. Papa and his mom are both having Thanksgiving with Jake, Gemma, Victor, and Fatima. And Papa got to leave early. He got to go to the pastor house. And his mama like, it's Thanksgiving. You need to be with family. And Papa told his mama, he my family too. Now Gemma now offered Jake services. So now Jake giving Papa a ride to the pastor's house. It's dinner time at Mama Nina's house, and it is also time for her to make the announcement that she is leaving after Thanksgiving to go on a road with Portia. And Keisha is like, Ma, this don't sound like you. And Nina say, well, that's why I want to do it. So Lene like, so you just going to be driving around with no place to go? And Portia say, we going to be exploring new places and just living our lives. Your mom deserved that. And Keisha say, well, we deserve to have her here too. And Nina said, well, y'all got your own lives now. So Keisha like, why you telling us this on Thanksgiving? And Nina said, I wanted to tell both of y'all at the same time. And Lene like, what about me? And Nina like, of course, I'm going to make sure somebody is here to look out for you. And Jamal say, well, I can do it. I mean, that is his sister. He did raise her, okay? And Nina going to say, can we trust you? Girl. And he was like, yeah, I'm a changed man. So she like, Lene, what you think about that? And Lene said that that would be nice. And Tracy chimes in and tells Keisha, you should be happy for your mom. She sacrificed a lot for you. And Keisha like, I am happy for you. And Emmett like, whoo, child, I'm glad we ain't share our good news today. And Nina like, what? And he was like, oh, nothing. Baby daddy, shut the hell up. Now let's head over to the pastor's house. And let me just say, whoever wrote this dinner scene was watching Tyler Perry the night before. 10 out of 10. Now let me set the stage. It's the pastor, first lady, Papa, Sarah, Sarah's dad, Gemma, and Jake. So you know it's finna go down. Okay. Our good brother Jake kicked it off. He asked the pastor, why you so rich, but most of your congregation is poor? So Papa like, they're rich in spirit. So Pastor like, let the young brother speak. So Jake like, it don't seem fair to me. So Pastor like, look, I know God wanted me to live like a king, and it's my job to give my congregation something to aspire to. So Jake like, so why they can't live like king and queens? Wow. So Sarah daddy chimes in and he like, they can, they just have to believe it. So Jake like, so if I believe I'm rich, I will be. So the first lady like, it's not that easy. And Jake said, I wasn't even talking to you. So Pastor say, don't disrespect my wife. And Jake said, she disrespected me first. So the first lady like, Jake, don't. And Sarah daddy was like, don't what? And Papa was like, nothing. So Sarah said, well, I'm grateful for new friendships. And the first lady said, I'm sure you are. So Sarah daddy said, I preach the word of God every day. And Jake said, I know. I see you on TV begging for money. Baby, Jake did not come to play. So Sarah daddy said, they call Taz son. And Jake said, I'm not your son. So Sarah say, look, my father and Zeke, they just want people to be prosperous. So the first lady like, and what do you want? And Sarah say, I want to support the messengers of God. And Zeke said, well, you do a mighty fine job. And Jake said, I bet she do. And Pastor say, what you trying to say? So the first lady was like, you know what he trying to say. And Gemma was like, girl, I know you ain't talking. And the first lady was like, excuse me. And Jake was like, Gemma, chill. And Gemma said, don't tell me to chill. And Papa was like, okay, maybe we should go. So the pastor like, we can debate all day. In the end, God gets the last word. And his word is the only word that counts. And Sarah daddy was like, Sarah, let's go. And Pastor like, oh, you sure you don't want to stay from some sweet potato pie? And Sarah daddy looked at him and said, I prefer pumpkin. So what did we take from this dinner? Our good brother Jake cannot be fake. Pastor Zeke is a house Negro. And this white man just insulted a house full of black people talking about some damn pumpkin pie. Now we head back to Nina's house and she is checking on Keisha. She like, are you okay? And Keisha like, yeah, I'm fine. And she like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, I don't mind you leaving. It was just a big surprise. And Nina say, I'm not talking about that. So Keisha like, stop worrying. And Nina said, are you pregnant? And Keisha said, did Emmett tell you? And Nina said, a mother knows. And Keisha said, look, I just wanted to wait until I was a few months alone. And Nina said, well, I guess I'm staying in Chicago. And Keisha said, Emmett can take care of me. And she like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah, I'm sure. And Nina said, well, you know, I'm going to worry. And she was like, look, Ma, you gave me everything I needed to survive. So I just need you to trust me. And Nina said, promise me you going to call me if you need anything. And she was like, I promise. And Nina going to say, I can't believe you bringing another baby into that house. And Keisha said, me either. But she excited about it. And she said she happy for her. And they did I love you too. And they was crying. And baby, Nina is finna leave, child. Even though she act like she don't want to leave. Girl, leave. Now, Emmett and Keisha have made their way to Rob's house, and Damien and Emmett have a brother-to-brother moment. So Damien's like, how's life? And Emmett like, life is lifing. And Damien said, Pop said you always was getting into something, but he also said that you was good and getting out of it. So Emmett like, for real, he said that? I'm trying to get out of something right now. And Damien said, me too. So Emmett like, what's going on with the Gomes-ons? And Damien was telling him how Keith trying to shake him for some money because he did a bid. And Emmett like, okay, well, what you gonna do? And Damien said, I don't know, but I feel like I owe him something. And Emmett was like, okay, well, just don't overpromise. If you need me, I'm here. And Damien said, wow, well, if you need me, I'm here too. And Emmett said, I appreciate that, brother. Progress. Question though, is it just me or do y'all think that Damien don't owe Keith nothing? Y'all went to rob a store together. Y'all knew that it was a possibility that y'all could get locked up. Damien got away. You didn't. So what you want him to pay you for? Not snitching, nigga? Lene obviously didn't hear Bakari when he said he didn't want to see backdoor Brittany because she invited her over to Nina's house. And Bakari is like, I'm not talking to her. The only thing she gonna do is run and tell Duda. Now, Lene removed herself from the situation that she caused. And Bakari tells Brittany, I thought you came back here for me, not to spy on me. And Brittany say, I needed the money. So Bakari says, so you put money over family? And Brittany gonna say, I ain't had no choice. He had a dupe to my head. When? Because we didn't see that. And Bakari said he had a dupe to my head before too. So she said, well, I told him I was done spying on you. And Bakari said, so what you think? You supposed to get some brownie points for that? And she gonna say, I want to build a relationship with you. And Bakari was like, I ain't trying to do that. And she was like, I understand. I love you. Either you know that or you don't. Child, where is the love? So he was like, you can't just say that. You got to show it. And she was like, and I will. I'm sorry. And Bakari was like, look, I forgive, but I don't forget. And you better not ever forget it, Bakari. All right, y'all. Now let's get into the moments. We at the cigar lounge. Bianca and Duda is getting it in. And of course, this is the last ride. So he finna leave. And Bianca like, where you going? And he like, oh, I gotta go tend to some business. And she say, you can't stay longer. Now before he can say anything, we hit a doop go click click. And it's Alicia. And Duda turns around and he like, oh, I should have known y'all was conspiring against me. And Alicia say, no, this was all me, Mr. Big Stuff. Bianca was just a decoy. And Bianca looked at Duda and she was like, huh, sorry. And Alicia say, somebody has to take you out. And Duda ain't worried. He said, I don't think you got it in you. And Alicia say, you almost killed my son. And Duda said that nigga tried to kill me. Now, mind you, Duda to turn back around, he putting on his clothes. He ain't scared at all. So Alicia said, you terrorized this city long enough. Any last words? Duda stood up and said, F you. And boom! Shot to the head. He falls. But it wasn't Alicia. Who shot him? Child, it was Nuck. Nucked and bucked and shot Duda. And Alicia is upset. She is like, what the F are you doing here? And Nuck said, he my boss. It's my job to know where he is at all times. It's a new sheriff in town, ladies. I suggest y'all start moving the body. And Alicia said, we don't work for you. And Nuck said, we could work together or we could be enemies. I don't give a F. It's your choice. And Alicia said, oh, I'm going to be more than your enemy. I'm going to be your worst effing nightmare. And Nuck says, suit yourself. And I'm so sorry to say that Alicia ate those words. So that's it. Duda is gone. He is no longer with us. And the news breaks that Duda has went to be with the devil. And everybody is watching the news in shock. But everybody was so relieved. To celebrate Duda's death, Tiffany wants to smoke, and she wants Keisha to smoke with her. But Keisha ends up telling her that she was pregnant, and she like, Tiff, you the first person I wanted to tell after my mom and Emmett. And Tiff like, I'm happy for you. And Keisha like, are you? And Tiffany said, I am. I got a good man, and I like you and Emmett together. And Keisha said, I love you. And Tiffany said, I love you too. Child, that was such a beautiful moment between two black women. It's sad to say that the black man could not do the same because we are at Duda's warehouse and Nuck is now in charge. And he tells Zay and Rob, y'all report to me now. And Zay said, who put you in charge? And Rob said, I don't report to nobody. And Nook said, I'm not asking. And Rob said, I'm not giving you no more money, and I don't work for you. Bye, nigga. And he turned around and walked away. And the next thing we know, 4 shots to the body. Rob dropped. Rob is no longer with us. And Nook looked at Zay and said, I'm not playing. And Zay said, I see. Now, we said, Duda, y'all just went overboard with Rob. If y'all was going to take him out, y'all could have just left that man in the hospital bed in a coma. Because what was that for? And Nook is not letting up, because now he at Nina's house to get Bakari. And he like, I need you back. And Bakari like, what you mean? And Nook is like, I'm in charge now. And Bakari like, since when? And Nook is like, get your stuff and come with me. And Bakari like, no, I'm done. And Nook said, if I'm going to do this, I need people I can trust. I always had your back. It's time for you to have mine now. You is my family. And Bakari like, I can't always trust family, nigga. And Nook was like, you could trust me. And Bakari was like, okay, I got you. And he tells Lene, I gotta go. Wow. He tell her stay here and don't open the door for nobody. So Lene is like, it's either me or them. And baby Bakari left. Bakari, are you serious, nigga? Like, we've been trying to help you all season, and this how you repay us? So, boom, he leaves with Zay and Nook. And it's a body in the trunk, and Bakari threw up on the ground. And they didn't even try to clean it up. DNA at the scene. And they took the body out the trunk and left it on the doorstep. And Zay was trying to get in the front seat, and Nook told him to get in the back seat and told Bakari to get in the front seat. So now Bakari finna be Nook's number 2. And now he in deeper than when he started. So we done spent the whole season trying to save Bakari, and clearly Bakari don't want to be saved, child. Now, it is late at night, and Nook done popped up at my baby daddy and Keisha house, and he talking about, I need to see my son. And Keisha like, you just can't come over here whenever you want. And Emmett like, you gotta bounce. Now, mind you, Nook is covered in blood, and he's still talking about, I need to see my son. And Keisha like, you not coming in here until you tell us where this blood came from. And Emmett put 2 and 2 together, and he was like, you offed them, didn't you? And Nook said it was the only way to make sure y'all was safe. And Keisha said, thank you. Come on. Now, you done dropped 2 people in an hour and hiding bodies and putting bodies on doorsteps, and now you want to see your son. While Nook was spending time with his son, Alicia was finding hers, because it was Rob's body in the trunk, and it was Alicia doorsteps that they left his body on. That is so cold-hearted. And Alicia is just broken. She's crying, and it was just hard to watch. Like, I shed a tear, okay? It was sad, because why is Rob dead? Why is Zay still alive? What about Tiffany? Like, what are we gonna do? And where does this leave everybody? Because Rob was entangled with everybody, and so is Nook. So when they find out that he is the one who off Rob, you got ties to Emmett and Keisha, you got ties to Bakari, you got ties to Vic, you got ties to all these people that have ties to him too. Y'all was in the same circle. He been a snake, because he is the reason that Rob's uncle got doop in the first place. So he been a snake nigga, but still, like, I don't even think Duda would have off Rob. I understand that he was talking back, but Duda probably would have just beat him up and let him go about his way. But you done got this position and let it go to your head within 2 seconds, sir. So season 7, we gonna advocate to get Nuck up out of here, because he nucking and bucking too much. But anyway, y'all, that was that on that. That was the season finale of The Chi season 6. So I will not be back with another recap next week. We have come to the end of the show, but it was a very good season. It was a very good episode. If y'all have not caught up, go catch up with the recaps, watch the videos from my other shows, like, comment, subscribe. Let's have a conversation down in the comment section below. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias. I will link them down in the description box. And yeah, it's your girl Cynthia Renee, and I will see y'all next week with another video. Peace.